If I was an average person, I'd be genuinely afraid. I mean, it's easy for me because I have so much money. Okay, I'm currently restricted in Romania and I'm under a matrix attack and they put me in jail, blah, blah, blah. One day I'll get out and one day it will be over and I'll still be a millionaire and I can look at the map and go, where is safe? Tokyo. Cool. Done.
What do you imagine the world to look like in 5-10 years time? As I mentioned earlier on, you got AI and you got the Apple Vision Pro, and eventually they're going to come out with sunglasses like the ones you're wearing now that have every little thing that you need to see in front of you. So what do you imagine the world to look like? Is it a scary place or is it a thing of where it's interesting?
It's a good question. And I'm going to tell people how I came to my answer. The people who are rich now, their bloodlines will be rich for a very long time. And the people who are poor now, if they don't get rich soon, in the next 10 years or so, they're never going to get rich. You're never going to get rich. The prices of houses are going to continue to go up. Prices of land is going to continue to go up. Inflation is going to continue to happen. Your wages will not catch up. It's going to get harder and harder for the average person to ever stand a chance of owning any assets. Yeah, it's now or never. Yeah. It's almost impossible right now. How does the average person on an average wage buy a house in London right now? Yeah. It's almost impossible already. I think in the next 10 years it's going to become truly impossible, and we're going to use AI to keep the gap closed. And what's interesting about that is, well, I'm in the rich team, I guess. But what I find most interesting about that is the socio ramifications of the fact that I think this is quite pertinent to most average people. I think most normal people understand. If you were to ask them, how's the economy? They'd say, well, it's impossible. I can't pay for my bills. I can't pay to eat. I can't afford a house. I can barely afford my mortgage. I'm never going to get rich this way. They understand all of this, but they're not panicking. Why are you not panicking? The Titanic just hit the iceberg. You may not be in the water yet, but it's a certainty. There's nowhere else to go. It's going to sink.
It's going to happen.
Panic now. Don't panic at the end with everyone else as they go into the icy depths. No, I would argue if I was on the Titanic and it got struck by the iceberg, I could have got a lifeboat nice and early. Now, I wouldn't have women and children first. I'm just using this as an example. Analogy.
I know where you're going with it.
I could have gone to the top deck when no one else was panicking and said, you know what, I want this. I want to go on a lifeboat. No, I don't feel comfortable on a lifeboat. And the guard probably would have said to me, you don't need to go on a lifeboat. It's no big deal. I said, yeah, but please, just give me the lifeboat, or here's some money or whatever. I want this one. Give me this one. Everyone started panicking at the end. There's no lifeboats. And people are sitting here now going, oh yeah, the economy's bad, but maybe if we vote for this person, who the don't swear. Wrong. Who are you going to vote for that's going to put money in your pocket actually come along and say, here's money? Nobody. Still got to pay your council tax. Still a brokey. Nobody cares. No one you vote for is going to change it. It's going to get worse. It's going to continue. And you know the boat is going to sink and you're not panicking. That's why I kind of catch myself. And one of the things I try very hard not to do is become elitist. Because when you've come from the absolute bottom to the absolute top and you've done it all off of your own back and hard work and dedication and never missing a day, the only shortcut to life is to never miss a day. One, because of compounding interest, and two, because sometimes you get lucky. And you'll never miss a lucky day if you try every day. If you don't try every day, you might miss your lucky day. And that's what people don't understand. If you never miss a day and you never don't try and you're always on time, was I late today? No, on time, and you try and improve every aspect of your life and you're a professional and you try and make sure that you analyze your decisions, you give yourself feedback, you don't make mistakes, you're not lazy. If you try and you make it to the top, you end up elitist because you look at the people down below and you're like, well, why didn't you try? I did. Oh, I did too. No, you didn't. That's a lie. Now you're lying to me and that annoys me. And you catch yourself being very elitist. And this is what's scary about it, because I'm from a Luton council estate and now I have all this money. But if I meet somebody who's truly broke, I'm not talking about you not have hundreds of millions, but if I meet somebody who's broke, I think they're an idiot. And I catch myself going, is that bad? Am I elitist? Or do I sit down now and I just say, no, I started lower than you and beat you. How are you poor? If I was an average person, I'd be genuinely afraid. I mean, it's easy for me because I have so much money. Okay, I'm currently restricted in Romania and I'm under a matrix attack and they put me in jail, blah, blah, blah. One day I'll get out and one day it will be over and I'll still be a millionaire and I can look at the map and go, where is safe? Tokyo. Cool. Done. Most people can't do that.
Yeah.
They can't do that. They're stuck. And the fact that that doesn't bother them or they don't panic, I find flabbergasting. I mean, the iceberg has struck the Titanic. How long can you have a border where people can arrive by dinghy and throw acid in people's face until your nation has fallen? How long will you allow this to happen until you realize it's done?
It's done.
It's done. And how long will you sit there and get hit by endless bills that continue, inflation that wrecks your currency, wages that don't increase, new taxes with ULEZ cameras, unchecked immigration from people who don't have a passport, crime rates increase? Bro, I said this to Tristan. We were saying how we miss England because we're English in our hearts and part of us miss it. And I was saying, you know what? If I lived in England, I couldn't even protect myself. I have guys here with guns because I'm currently on bail and I can't carry a gun. Otherwise, I'm strapped all the time. If you come to my house, there's a big gate and there's pit bulls and there's 4 guys with weapons, guns. You need SEAL Team 6 to get in my house. There's bulletproof doors and I have a gun next to my bed. I'm the final boss. It's gonna be a shootout. In England, I can have all the money in the world. I can go to Radlett. I was looking at a house in Radlett. I'll say it right now. It's 12 million pounds. It was gorgeous. And I thought, it's worth 20 million. For 12 million, it was worth
Bargain.
it. Bargain.
Yeah.
And I was like, Tristan, if we bought this house, the problem is we couldn't even protect ourselves because eventually someone will work out it's our house.
It's like, it's just like all the footballers.
Of course.
All the footballers, when they go to play matches, they all get robbed.
Bro, eventually someone will work out it's our house. The only way you can protect yourself in the West now is to hide. I was like, we can buy this house, not put it in videos, not put it on social media, not invite girls over, because you know what'll happen? You'll invite a girl over one day, and she'll say, I'm coming with my friend Lucy, not from the BBC, a different one. But like, okay, Lucy, she comes. Lucy turns up. She's a 7. You don't talk to Lucy. Nobody likes Lucy. She sits around. She's a 7.
She sends the location to everyone.
She sends the. She knows. Next weekend she's out sniffing coke with some dickhead, and she's like, I was at Tate's house. No, you weren't. Yeah, I was at Tate. I was looking at this picture. Where was it? Here. Boom. Bam.
That's
now
it.
they now know where your house is.
Location
they start
drop.
talking about it. Mr. Bugatti, Mr. Diamond Watch. I'm sitting in my Radlett house. There's fucking 25 windows, 6 door entrances. I'm like, Tristan, we can't even hire armed guards. Who could we even hire to protect the house? I could come along with $1 million a month contract. I'd end up with G4S, some old man sitting in a little box. And when they rock up, 20 dudes with blades, it's over. You can't even be rich in England unless you want to hide.
Tell me this, yeah?
I wear a $400,000 watch in Bucharest, Romania. In London, I can't wear it. In London, I don't wear it. So we're talking about how the nation's failed. You could be rich in England and you're still not safe. You still have to pray they don't find you. You have to live like a hermit, like a cockroach under a rock and hide. Or maybe you get a chance to call the police before they chop your wife's hands off. Oh, that's great. That's how fallen this nation is. And there are people there with no money. They're not even rich like me. They have no money. And they're sitting there going, it'll be okay. Maybe if we get Rishi Sunak out and get another one in. No, it won't. No, it won't. It is a failed society. You need God. Revert to Islam and move to Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, none of that will happen to you.